Adventures in Grace, a pilgrimage, we're still walking, and we will be for quite some time. And I could not be more grateful for your companionship. As you know, the second segment of the pilgrimage has to do with baptism, looking at it from a lot of different angles and taking it seriously and celebrating it and renewing it. And I had an experience recently that did that for me. Some of you know that I was seriously ill very suddenly, and it turned out it was a near-death experience. And obviously had a lot of variables that went along with that. One of them was my kids and their fear that they were going to lose their dad. And one of them was my fear that I was going to lose my kids. So at the pinnacle of this, whether I was coming or going, experience, I just asked my wife, and it turned out to be a very emotional question for me. I just asked her, Holly, was I a good husband? Was I a good dad? She subsequently reported that question to our kids, who recently, I celebrated my 66th birthday and didn't know if I was going to make it, so I'm happy about that. My kids wrote me letters as gifts, which is what I always ask of them for my birthday, just write me a letter. And the conclusion of my son's letter was a response to my question as to whether I was a good dad. And he wrote, I could go on and on and on. Dad, you are the example I turn to and think of when I think about the essence of good fatherhood. While there is so much about parenthood that I struggle with in the day-to-day, I know deep in my bones that I am and will continue to be a good enough father to Riley and Quinn. And that is directly because of what you reflected back to me over and over and over again, that I am beloved. And he signs off, Amen. I love you, Ian. And if there's anything I wanted to do for my kids, it was to baptize them. I think our job as parents, and I think God's job as God, is to spend God's life, all of God's life, baptizing us over and over and over again. And if my son knows that because I awkwardly and imperfectly did that for him, one can only imagine how we would feel if we took seriously God's passion that we know that we are beloved. And so that's our focus, this second segment of our pilgrimage, is to take seriously God's desire that we might know ourselves as baptized and beloved. And in the spirit of my son, can I ask the Pilgrim Church to say, Amen.